Liam Calloway had it all: fame, wealth, and the perfect image. But when a florist with a radiant smile walked into his life by mistake, she challenged everything he thought he wanted. Would he risk his empire for something real? Before we get into the story, comment below where in the world you are watching from today. The sun was shining bright over Los Angeles as Liam Calloway stepped out of his silver Porsche. At 29, he was the king of West Hollywood's fitness scene. His gym, Elite Body, was where celebrities came to get in shape for their movie roles. Today he was meeting with a sports drink company about $1 million sponsorship deal. "Looking good, boss," said Marcus, his assistant, handing him a protein shake. "The Hydrate 360 people are already inside." Liam checked his reflection in the mirrored wall of the gym entrance. His blonde hair was perfectly styled, his tan was even, and his custom-tailored suit showed off the body he'd spent years perfecting. He looked exactly like the success story he sold to his millions of followers. "Let's make some money," Liam said with his trademark smile, the one that had graced dozens of fitness magazine covers. The meeting went well. The executives loved him, just like everyone did. Liam had that effect on people. They wanted what he had, wanted to be near him, wanted his approval. By lunchtime, he'd secured the deal and was headed to Sunset Boulevard for a celebrity lunch spot where influencers went to be seen. "Liam, over here," called Trent, his best friend since college and now his business partner. Beside him sat 3 Instagram models, all thin, blonde, and perfect, exactly Liam's type. "Ladies," Liam greeted them with a wink as he sat down. One of them, Amber, immediately moved closer to him. They dated briefly last year before he'd moved on to someone almost identical. "We were just talking about your new beachfront property," Trent said. "These girls want to see it." "Maybe we can have a private tour," Amber suggested, placing her hand on Liam's arm. Liam smiled but felt nothing inside. This was his life. Beautiful women, expensive restaurants, business deals. He should be happy. But lately he'd been feeling empty, like something was missing. Later that afternoon, back at his gym, Liam was in his office when there was a knock at the door. "Come in," he called. The door opened, and in walked a woman unlike anyone who usually entered his world. She was curvy, with smooth dark skin and natural hair styled in loose curls that framed her face. She wore a simple yellow sundress and carried a large bouquet of colorful flowers. "Hi, I'm looking for Suite 208, she said. "I have a delivery for Anderson Marketing." Liam found himself staring. She wasn't thin like the women he usually dated. She was full-figured, with hips and curves, and radiated a confidence that caught him off guard. "This is Suite 308, he finally said. "Anderson is downstairs." "Oh!" she laughed, and the sound made something stir inside him. "I'm so sorry. The building layout is confusing." "I'm Liam," he said, standing up and extending his hand. He never introduced himself. People always knew who he was. "Nia Lawson," she replied, shifting the flowers to shake his hand. "I own Bloom Studio down on Fairfax." Her hand was soft, and she looked directly into his eyes when she spoke. No flirtatious batting of eyelashes, no calculated moves, just genuine human connection. "Those are beautiful," Liam said, nodding toward the flowers. "Thank you. It's a new arrangement I'm trying out. Bright colors for a marketing office," Nia said. "I should get these downstairs before they wilt in this heat." "I'll show you," Liam offered, surprising himself. He never left important work to escort strangers. As they walked to the elevator, Liam noticed how people stared at them. He was used to attention, but this was different. He could read the confusion on their faces. Why was Liam Calloway walking with someone who looked like her? "So, you own a flower shop?" he asked as they stepped into the elevator. "A floral studio," Nia corrected gently. "I do custom arrangements for businesses, weddings, special events. I grew up helping in my grandmother's garden, and it turned into a career." "That's nice," Liam said, realizing how bland he sounded. He was used to talking about protein percentages and workout routines, not flowers. They reached the second floor, and Liam pointed her towards Suite 208. "Right over there." "Thank you for your help," Nia said, with a smile that reached her eyes. "Have a good day, Liam." He watched her walk away, noticing how she moved with grace despite the heavy vase in her arms. For the first time in months, Liam felt something real, curiosity. Back in his office, he couldn't focus. He kept thinking about Nia's laugh, her eyes, the way she didn't seem impressed by who he was. On impulse, he opened his laptop and searched Bloom Studio, Fairfax Avenue. Her website appeared, simple but elegant, just like her. Photos showed stunning flower arrangements, And there she was on the About page, standing among buckets of flowers, her smile radiant. "What are you looking at?" Trent's voice startled him. Liam quickly closed the laptop. "Nothing. Just checking some competition." "Listen, we need to finalize the guest list for your birthday bash next weekend. The PR team wants to make sure we have enough influencers to generate the right buzz." "Yeah, sure," Liam said, only half listening. "Whatever you think is best." After Trent left, Liam reopened the website and found the contact number for Bloom Studio. Before he could talk himself out of it, he called. "Bloom Studio, this is Nia speaking." Her voice came through the phone. "Hi, Nia. It's Liam from the elevator earlier." "The gym owner. I remember," she said, and he could hear the smile in her voice. "I'm having an event next weekend. I was wondering if you could do the flowers," he said, making up the reason as he went along. "I'd be happy to. Would you like to come by the studio to discuss what you're looking for, or I can send you some sample photos?" "I'll come by," Liam said quickly. "Tomorrow afternoon? Perfect, I'll see you then." Liam hung up, feeling like a teenager with his first crush. What was wrong with him? She wasn't his type. She wasn't what his followers expected to see with him. His father's voice echoed in his head. "Appearance is everything, son. It's not just about being fit yourself, it's about the whole package." The next day, Liam told his staff he had a business meeting and drove to Fairfax Avenue. Bloom Studio was nestled between a bookstore and a vintage clothing shop. Through the window, he could see Nia arranging white lilies in a tall vase. When he entered, the scent of fresh flowers enveloped him. Nia looked up and smiled. "Liam, welcome," she said. "Let me finish this up, and then we can talk about your event." He watched her work, her hands moving with precision and care. There was something deeply authentic about her that made his world of protein powders and perfect selfies seem shallow. "So," she said when she finished, wiping her hands on her apron, "tell me about this event." "It's my birthday," Liam admitted. "A big party at my place in Malibu. And what kind of atmosphere are you going for?" Liam hadn't thought that far. "I don't know. Usually my PR team handles everything." Nia tilted her head. "But it's your birthday. What do you want?" No one had asked him that in years. His parties were always about what would look good on Instagram, what would impress his sponsors. "I don't know," he repeated, feeling strangely vulnerable. "Well, why don't you tell me what you like? Not what your PR team thinks you should like. What actually makes you happy?" Liam was silent for a moment. "I like the ocean. I go surfing sometimes early in the morning when no one's around. It's the only time I feel peaceful." Nia's eyes softened. "Then let's bring that feeling to your party. Blues and greens, white flowers like sea foam, simple, elegant, not trying too hard to impress." For the next hour they talked about flowers and colors, but also about books. She loved reading. Music, they both enjoyed jazz. And food, she knew all the best small restaurants in the city. "I should get going," Liam finally said, realizing he'd stayed much longer than planned. "Of course, I'll have a proposal for you by tomorrow, and Liam," Nia added as he headed for the door, "happy early birthday." Over the next week, Liam found himself thinking about Nia constantly. He made excuses to call her to stop by the shop. Each time their conversations went deeper. She told him about growing up in Oakland with her grandmother after her parents died. He found himself sharing things he never talked about, how his father had put him on his first diet at age 8, how empty he sometimes felt, despite all his success. The night before his party, Liam was at his Malibu house when Trent came by with the final plans. "Dude, the guest list is insane," Trent said, scrolling through his phone. 3 reality TV stars, that actor from the superhero movies, and like 20 models. Your social media is going to explode." "Great," Liam said, looking out at the ocean. "What's up with you lately?" Trent asked. "You've been acting weird." "Just tired," Liam lied. "Well, wake up. Tomorrow's huge for the brand. The Hydrate 360 people will be here, and they want to announce you as their new spokesman." After Trent left, Liam sat alone on his deck, watching the waves. He thought about calling Nia, but wasn't sure what he would say. She was becoming important to him, in a way that scared him. The next day, Nia and her team arrived early to set up the flowers. The arrangements were stunning. Blue hydrangeas, white roses, and green eucalyptus that made the house feel like an elegant beach retreat. "These are perfect," Liam told her, keeping his distance. Staff and caterers were everywhere, and he was conscious of their curious glances. "I'm glad you like them," Nia said. "Happy birthday, Liam." She handed him a small box. Inside was a simple bracelet made of blue sea glass. "I saw it at the beach market and thought of our conversation," she explained. "Thank you," he said, wanting to say more but feeling the eyes of his staff on them. I should go, Nia said, seeming to sense his discomfort. Enjoy your party. You could stay, Liam said suddenly, as my guest. Surprise flickered across her face. Are you sure? I'm not exactly the type of person who usually comes to your parties. I want you here, he admitted. Then I'll come back tonight, she said with a smile. The party was in full swing by 9 o'clock. Liam moved through the crowd in his designer clothes, shaking hands, accepting birthday wishes, posing for photos. But his eyes kept searching for Nia. When she finally arrived, Liam's heart skipped. She wore a simple blue dress that hugged her curves, her hair loose around her shoulders. She looked beautiful and completely out of place among the Instagram-perfect guests. Liam made his way to her. You came. I said I would, she replied. Nice bracelet. He glanced down at the sea glass on his wrist and smiled. Best gift I've gotten. They talked for a while, standing close to hear each other over the music. Liam found himself forgetting about everyone else, laughing at her stories, feeling more relaxed than he had in years. Liam! Trent's voice broke the spell. The Hydrate 360 people want to take photos. Liam hesitated, looking at Nia. Go, she said gently. It's your work. I understand. For the next hour, Liam was pulled from one group to another. He gave his practiced smile for photos, discussed business deals, accepted compliments on the party, but his mind was on Nia. When he finally broke free, he couldn't find her anywhere. He was looking for her when he overheard voices coming from the kitchen, Trent and some of his friends. Who invited the fat chick? One of them was saying. Nobody. She did the flowers, another replied with a laugh. Well, I saw Liam talking to her like they're friends or something, said a female voice, Amber. Maybe he's planning to train her, someone suggested, and they all laughed. Or maybe he's slumming it, Trent said, but he better be careful. His image is everything. Can you imagine what his followers would say if they saw him with someone like that? Liam stood frozen, shame and anger washing over him. He should walk in there right now and defend Nia. Tell them all how amazing she was, how real and kind and genuine. But he didn't move. The thought of confronting them, of the rumors that would spread, of what it might do to his brand, it paralyzed him. He turned away, hating himself for his cowardice, and went to look for Nia. He found her on the beach, staring out at the water. Hey, he said, coming up beside her. I've been looking for you. I needed some air, she said, not looking at him. It's not really my scene in there. Mine either, to be honest. She turned to him then, her eyes searching his face. Why did you invite me, Liam, really? Because I like being with you, he admitted. You're different from anyone I know. Different, she repeated, a small smile playing on her lips. That's one way to put it. I didn't mean, it's okay, she said. I know I don't look like the women you usually date. I've seen your Instagram. That's not who I really am, Liam said, surprising himself with his honesty. That's the person I thought I had to be. Nia looked at him for a long moment. And who are you really, Liam Calloway? I'm still figuring that out, he said, but I'd like to figure it out with you. He leaned in slowly and kissed her. Her lips were soft, and she tasted like strawberries. For the first time in years, Liam felt truly present in a moment, not thinking about how it would look or what people would say. When they broke apart, Nia's eyes were wide with surprise and something else, caution. I like you, Liam, she said, but I need to know if this is real or if I'm just a secret you're keeping until you go back to your real life. Before he could answer, Trent's voice called from the house. Liam, where are you? The cake is coming out. You should go, Nia said. Your guests are waiting. Come with me, Liam said, taking her hand. She hesitated, then nodded. Together they walked back to the house. Liam could feel people staring as they entered, could see the shock on Trent's face when he noticed their clasped hands. But for once in his life, Liam didn't care what anyone else thought. The only eyes that mattered were Nia's, looking at him with hope and the promise of something real. As the party continued around them, Liam held onto Nia's hand like a lifeline, knowing that his world was about to change. And for the first time in a long time, he was looking forward to it. The morning after his birthday party, Liam woke up to his phone buzzing non-stop. He had over 50 messages from Trent, his publicist, and various friends. None of them were congratulating him on turning 30. They all wanted to know about the mystery woman he'd been holding hands with. Call me ASAP, Trent's message read. We need to do damage control. Liam threw the phone aside and got out of bed. Through his bedroom window, he could see the ocean waves rolling in. The party decorations still scattered across his deck reminded him of Nia, the blue and white flowers, the sea glass bracelet he still wore on his wrist. Last night had been perfect after that first awkward moment of walking back into the party with Nia. They had danced, talked, and shared cake. When the party ended, he'd asked her to stay longer. They sat on his deck until sunrise, talking about everything and nothing. He'd driven her home as the city was waking up, and the goodbye kiss they shared in front of her small apartment building felt like the beginning of something important. Now reality was crashing in. Liam finally picked up his phone and called Trent. "Dude, what were you thinking?" Trent's voice was sharp with panic. "There are pictures all over social media of you and that flower girl. Her name is Nia," Liam said, his jaw tightening. "And what's the problem?" "The problem? Are you serious?" Trent sputtered. "Your whole brand is built on perfection, on aspiration. People follow you because they want your life, your body, your girlfriends. How does she fit into that image?" "Maybe the image needs to change," Liam said, surprising himself with the thought. "This isn't funny, Liam. The Hydrate 360 people called this morning. They're concerned about your new direction. They want a meeting tomorrow." A cold feeling settled in Liam's stomach. The sponsorship was worth millions. It was the biggest deal of his career. "Fine," he said. "Set it up." After hanging up, Liam checked social media. His latest posts were flooded with comments. "Who's the fat chick? Is this a charity case or your new girlfriend? Guess he lost a bet, lol." But there were other comments too. "She's gorgeous. Finally, a real woman. You two look so happy together." Liam closed the app, his emotions a mix of anger, shame, and confusion. He wanted to call Nia, to hear her laugh and remember why none of this shallow stuff mattered. But the business side of him, the side his father had carefully cultivated, held him back. Instead, he went for a run along the beach, pushing himself harder than usual, as if he could outrun the decision he had to make. By the time he returned home, sweaty and tired, he'd made up his mind. He showered, dressed in casual clothes, and drove to Fairfax Avenue. Bloom's studio was busy. Through the window, he could see Nia helping an elderly couple choose flowers. She looked up when he entered, and her whole face brightened. "Liam," she said warmly, "I didn't expect to see you today. I couldn't stay away," he admitted, which was the simple truth. After she finished with the couple, Nia came over and kissed him softly. "I had a wonderful time last night." "Me too," Liam said, taking her hands in his. "Listen, I was wondering if you'd like to have dinner tonight. Somewhere quiet, just the two of us." "I'd love that," she said. "But I'm working late on a wedding order. Could you come to my place instead? I'm not much of a cook, but I make a mean spaghetti." "Perfect," Liam said, feeling lighter already. That evening, Liam arrived at Nia's apartment with a bottle of wine and a small plant in a blue pot. "Because you're always giving flowers to everyone else," he explained. Her apartment was small but cozy, filled with books, colorful throw pillows, and plants in every corner. It felt lived in and real, so different from his sleek, magazine-perfect home. "This is nice," he said, looking around. "It feels like you." "Is that a good thing?" Nia asked with a smile, taking the wine to the kitchen. "It's a very good thing," Liam assured her, following. "Can I help with dinner?" They cooked together, Nia showing him how to make her grandmother's tomato sauce recipe. They talked and laughed, and Liam realized he hadn't felt this relaxed in years. There was no pressure to be perfect, to say the right thing, to maintain an image. Later, they sat on her small balcony, eating spaghetti and drinking wine under the stars. "Tell me something real about you," Nia said, her dark eyes serious in the candlelight. "Something you don't tell everyone." Liam was quiet for a moment. "When I was a kid, I was overweight," he finally said. "My father was a college football coach, and he was hard on me about it. He put me on my first diet when I was 8, made me run laps while he timed me. He used to say, 'No one respects a fat kid, Liam. No one.'" Nia's hand found his across the table. "That's terrible." "I lost the weight by high school," Liam continued. "Started lifting weights, got really into fitness. My dad was finally proud of me. But the way I felt when I was that kid, never good enough, always being judged, sometimes I still feel that way, even with all the success." "Is that why you became a trainer? To help others not feel that way?" Liam had never thought about it like that. "Maybe. At first it was just what I was good at. But yeah, when I work with clients who really need the help, who feel bad about themselves, that's when I love my job the most." "That's beautiful, Liam," Nia said softly. "What about you?" he asked. "What's something real about Nia Lawson?" She smiled a little sadly. "I always loved art, but I never thought I was good enough to make it a career. My grandmother encouraged me, but after she died, I stopped believing in myself. It took me years to realize that arranging flowers was my art, my way of creating beauty in the world. Your work is amazing, Liam said sincerely. You have a gift. Thank you, she said. Sometimes I think we're all just trying to make something beautiful out of what life gives us. They talked for hours, sharing stories from their childhoods, their hopes, their disappointments. When they finally kissed goodnight at her door, Liam knew he was falling in love. Over the next 2 weeks, they fell into a rhythm. Liam would visit Bloom's studio in the afternoons, helping Naya with deliveries or just sitting in the corner, answering emails while she worked. In the evenings, they would have dinner at small restaurants where Liam wasn't recognized, or at her apartment. They never went to his house, never went anywhere too public. Liam told himself it was because he wanted privacy, wanted to protect what they had from the outside world. But deep down, he knew he was hiding her. Trent had managed to smooth things over with Hydrate 360. I told them it was a one-time thing, that you were just being nice to the florist, he'd explained. But you need to be careful, man. No more public appearances with her. Liam had nodded, hating himself for not standing up for Nia, for what they had. But the business part of him, the part that had worked so hard to build this empire, was afraid of losing everything. One evening, Liam was at Nia's apartment, lying on her couch with his head in her lap as she read aloud from a book of poetry. His phone kept buzzing with messages from Trent about an upcoming fitness expo. You should answer that, Nia said, noticing his distraction. It sounds important. It's just work stuff, Liam said, but he picked up the phone anyway. As he read Trent's messages, his mood darkened. What is it? Nia asked, setting the book aside. Trent wants me to bring a date to this industry event next weekend. Amber, my ex, for appearances. Nia was silent for a long moment. And what did you tell him? I haven't responded yet, Liam admitted, not meeting her eyes. I see. Nia's voice was quiet. And what are you going to tell him? Liam sat up, running a hand through his hair. It's complicated, Nia. This expo is huge for my business. All the major players will be there. Sponsors, potential partners. And I wouldn't fit in, she finished for him. I wouldn't look right on your arm. That's not what I'm saying, Liam protested, but his hesitation said everything. Yes, it is, Nia said, standing up. You're ashamed of me, Liam, of how I look. No, he said, reaching for her hand. It's not you I'm ashamed of, it's them, their expectations. My whole career is built on this image. An image that doesn't include someone who looks like me, Nia said, pulling her hand away. I'm not blind, Liam. I notice that we only go to places where you won't be recognized. I notice that you've never posted a single picture of us together on your social media, even though you post everything else about your life. Nia, please try to understand. I do understand, she said, and the sadness in her eyes broke his heart. But I can't be your secret, Liam. I won't be. What are you saying? He asked, a cold fear gripping him. I'm saying you need to decide what matters more to you, your image or something real. Liam stood, moving closer to her. You matter to me, more than I can say. Then prove it, Nia challenged. Take me to the expo, hold my hand in public, show the world that you're not ashamed to be with me. Liam wanted to say yes. The words were on the tip of his tongue, but the thought of the sponsors' reactions, of the comments online, of everything he'd built crumbling away, it terrified him. I need time, he said finally. This is my career, my whole life. Disappointment flashed across Nia's face. I think you should go, she said quietly. Nia, please, Liam. I need some space to think, and so do you. There was nothing left to say. Liam gathered his things and left, his heart heavy with the knowledge that he'd hurt her. The next few days were torture. Liam threw himself into work, spending hours at the gym, in meetings, planning for the expo. He tried to call Nia several times, but she didn't answer. He went by the shop, but her assistant said she was out on deliveries. The emptiness he'd felt before meeting her returned, stronger than ever. Nothing seemed to matter. Not the business deals, not the adoring fans, not the perfect image he'd worked so hard to maintain. The night before the expo, Liam was at his home in Malibu, staring out at the ocean, when Trent came by with final details. Everything's set for tomorrow, Trent said, handing him a folder. Amber will meet you there at noon. The Hydrate 360 people want to do a photo op, and then you have a panel discussion at 2. Liam nodded absently, his mind on Nia. Hey, are you even listening? Trent asked, annoyed. This is important stuff. Yeah, I heard you, Liam said. Trent studied him for a moment. You're still hung up on that flower girl, aren't you? Her name is Nia, Liam said sharply. Fine, Nia, Trent corrected himself with an eye roll. Look, I get it, she's different, exotic, but she's not right for your brand, man, you know that. My brand, Liam repeated, a bitter taste in his mouth. Is that all you think about? It's all I'm paid to think about, Trent replied, and it's what made you rich and famous. Remember that. After Trent left, Liam sat alone in his expensive house, surrounded by all the trappings of success, feeling more lost than ever. The morning of the expo dawned bright and clear. Liam dressed in the outfit his stylist had chosen, designer jeans, a tight black t-shirt that showed off his physique, a custom blazer. He looked exactly like the fitness mogul everyone expected to see, but as he stared at his reflection, all he could think about was Nia's words, "I can't be your secret." With sudden clarity, Liam knew what he had to do. He grabbed his phone and called Trent. "I'm bringing my own date to the expo," he said without preamble. "What? No, we agreed." "I'm bringing Nia," Liam interrupted, "or I'm not coming at all." "Are you insane?" Trent exploded. "Do you have any idea what that will do to your reputation? To the deals we have lined up?" "I don't care," Liam said, and for the first time in years, he truly didn't. "This is my life, Trent. Not yours, not the sponsors. Mine, and I'm done living it for everyone else." He hung up before Trent could argue further, and immediately called Nia. It went to voicemail again. "Nia, it's me. I've been an idiot. You were right about everything. I don't want to hide you. I don't want to hide us. Please call me back, please." When she didn't call, Liam decided to go to her apartment. He had to see her, had to explain that he'd finally figured out what mattered. But when he arrived at her building, her neighbor told him Nia had left early that morning with a suitcase. She said something about visiting her cousin in Oakland for a few days, the elderly woman explained. Liam's heart sank. He'd made his decision too late. With nowhere else to go, Liam headed to the expo. He went through the motions, shaking hands, giving interviews, posing for photos with Amber, who had shown up as planned. But his heart wasn't in it. Every smile felt forced, every word of his panel discussion hollow. During a break, Liam escaped to a quiet hallway and checked his phone again. Still no call from Nia. "There you are," Trent said, finding him. "The Hydrate 360 people want to talk contract details. And lose the long face. You're supposed to be the picture of health and happiness." "I need to find Nia," Liam said, ignoring him. "Forget her," Trent snapped. "Focus on what's important." Something inside Liam snapped. "She is what's important. Don't you get that? None of this matters if I'm miserable, if I'm not being true to myself. This isn't the time or place." "It's exactly the time and place," Liam interrupted. "I'm done pretending, done caring what people think, done letting my father's voice in my head tell me what's acceptable." "What are you talking about?" Trent asked, looking genuinely confused. "My whole life I've been trying to be perfect," Liam explained, his voice quieter now. "Perfect body, perfect career, perfect image. But it's all empty, Trent. All of it. The only time I've felt real, felt truly myself was with Nia, and I pushed her away because I was scared." Trent's expression softened slightly. "Look, I get that you like this girl. I love her," Liam corrected him. "I love her, and I let her go because I was too much of a coward to stand up for her, for us. So what are you going to do about it?" A voice came from behind them. Liam turned to see Amber standing there, arms crossed. He'd forgotten she was even at the expo. "I don't know," Liam admitted. "She won't answer my calls." "Then go find her," Amber said, surprising both men. "Make a grand gesture. Show her what she means to you." "The sponsors," Trent began, but Amber cut him off. "We'll wait. Some things are more important than business." Liam looked at her with new respect. "Thank you." As he turned to leave, his phone buzzed in his pocket. A text message from an unknown number. "Check your email. You need to see this. Marcus, your assistant." Confused, Liam opened his email. There was a new message from Marcus with an audio file attached. The subject line read, "Recorded accidentally on your phone." Liam played the file, and his blood ran cold as he heard Trent's voice. "That's her, bro, she's huge." Then another voice, one of his gym buddies. "You gonna train her or date her?" And Trent again, "Your brand's gonna tank, man." The recording ended. Liam remembered now. He'd been testing a new voice memo app for his workout instructions. His phone must have been recording in his pocket when Trent and the others were talking in his kitchen during the birthday party. "What is it?" Amber asked, seeing his face. Wordlessly, Liam played the recording for her and Trent. Amber's expression turned to disgust. Trent had the decency to look ashamed. "Liam, that was weeks ago. I was just trying to protect your brand." "Save it!" Liam cut him off, his voice ice cold. "You're fired." "You can't fire me. We're partners." "Not anymore. I'll have my lawyers draw up the paperwork." Before Trent could respond, Liam was already walking away, purpose in his stride. He knew what he had to do. Back at his house, Liam packed a bag and booked a flight to Oakland. He would find Nia, apologize, beg her forgiveness if necessary. But as he was about to leave, his phone buzzed with another text from Marcus. "She's back. Just saw her at the shop." Relief flooded through Liam. He cancelled the flight and drove straight to Bloom's studio, his heart racing. The shop was closed, but he could see light coming from the back room. He knocked on the door, peering through the glass. A moment later, Nia appeared. She looked tired, her eyes red-rimmed as if she'd been crying. When she saw him, she hesitated before unlocking the door. "What are you doing here, Liam?" she asked, not inviting him in. "I need to talk to you," he said. "Please." She stepped aside, letting him enter. The shop was quiet, filled with the scent of flowers and the soft sound of classical music playing from a small speaker. "I thought you were at the expo," Nia said, moving behind the counter, putting distance between them. "I was," Liam said, "but nothing felt right without you." Nia looked down at her hands. "Liam, I can't do this. I can't be with someone who's ashamed of me." "I'm not ashamed of you," Liam said, moving closer. "I was ashamed of myself, of my weakness. I was afraid of losing everything I'd worked for. But I realized that none of it matters if I don't have you." He pulled out his phone and played her the recording. Nia's face paled as she listened. "I was going to tell you," she said quietly when it ended. "I heard it that night at your party. Your phone must have sent the recording to me by accident. That's why I disappeared. I couldn't face you." "I'm so sorry," Liam said, his voice breaking. "I should have defended you. I should have told them all how amazing you are, how you make me feel, how you've changed my life." "Why didn't you?" Nia asked, the hurt evident in her eyes. "Because I was a coward," Liam admitted. "But I'm not anymore. I fired Trent. I'm ready to stand up for us, for what we have. If that means losing sponsors or followers or whatever, I don't care. You're worth more than all of it." Nia studied his face, looking for the truth in his words. "And what happens the next time someone says something cruel? The next time your business is threatened because you're with me? Then they're not people I want in my life or my business," Liam said firmly. "I'm done hiding, Nia. I'm done pretending to be someone I'm not. I want a real life with a real woman, with you." Tears filled Nia's eyes. "I want to believe you, Liam, but I'm scared too. Scared of being hurt again." Liam reached for her hand, relieved when she didn't pull away. "I know I hurt you, and I'll spend every day making it up to you if you'll let me. Just please give me another chance." "I need time," Nia said, but her fingers intertwined with his. "I need to know this isn't just words." "Take all the time you need," Liam promised. "I'll prove it to you, every day." As they stood there, hands linked across the counter surrounded by flowers, Liam knew he had a long road ahead to earn back her trust. But for the first time in his life, he was ready to fight for something that mattered more than his image, more than his success, more than anything. He was ready to fight for love. A week had passed since Liam had asked Nia for another chance. They were taking things slow, rebuilding trust one day at a time. Liam came to the flower shop every afternoon, sometimes helping with deliveries, sometimes just sitting quietly as Nia worked. They hadn't kissed again. Nia had made it clear she needed time, but they talked for hours each day. "So what happens now with your business?" Nia asked one evening, as they closed up the shop together. "After firing Trent, I mean." Liam leaned against the counter. "I've been doing a lot of thinking about that, about what kind of business I want to run, what kind of man I want to be." "And?" Nia prompted, looking up from the register. "I want to change things," Liam said, suddenly energized. "The fitness industry is so focused on how people look, the perfect body, the perfect life. It makes people feel terrible about themselves. I know because I felt that way as a kid." Nia smiled encouragingly. "So what are you going to do about it?" "I'm going to rebuild my brand, focus on health, not appearance, strength, not size. I want to help people feel good in their bodies, whatever those bodies look like." "That sounds wonderful," Nia said, genuinely impressed. "But what about your sponsors, your followers?" "Some will leave," Liam admitted, "but the ones who stay will be there for the right reasons." He hesitated, then added, "I've been working on something else too, a social media post, about us." Nia's expression turned cautious. "What kind of post?" "Nothing if you're not comfortable with it," Liam assured her quickly. "But I want people to know how I feel about you. I don't want to hide anymore." Nia was quiet for a moment. "Show me what you wrote." Liam pulled out his phone and handed it to her. On the screen was a draft post with a photo of the sea glass bracelet she had given him. The caption read, "For years I built a life and career around appearances. I let other people's opinions dictate my choices, my relationships, even my happiness. Recently, I met someone who showed me what real beauty is. Not the kind you see in magazines or on Instagram, but the kind that comes from authenticity, kindness, and courage. She gave me this bracelet to remind me of the peace I find when I'm with her. I nearly lost her because I was too afraid to stand up for what matters. I won't make that mistake again. To anyone who's ever felt like they weren't enough because they didn't fit someone else's idea of perfection, you are more than enough. And to Nia, thank you for teaching me what really matters. When Nia looked up, there were tears in her eyes. You wrote this? Every word, Liam said softly. But I won't post it unless you're okay with it. Nia handed the phone back to him. Post it, she said. I'm ready if you are. Liam's finger hovered over the button. You're sure? Things might get messy. The comments, the reactions. I'm sure, Nia said, moving around the counter to stand in front of him. We can handle messy together. Liam smiled and hit post. Then he set the phone down and took Nia's hands in his. Thank you for giving me another chance. Don't make me regret it, she said. But she was smiling too. Never, he promised. And when she rose on her tiptoes to kiss him, it felt like a new beginning. The next morning, Liam's post had gone viral. His phone wouldn't stop buzzing with notifications, texts, and calls. Some of the comments were cruel, mocking him for being with a fat girl, speculating that it was a publicity stunt, but many more were supportive. Finally, someone real in the fitness industry. This brought me to tears. Thank you for your honesty. Your girlfriend is gorgeous. You two look so happy together. His manager called in a panic. Hydrate 360 is threatening to pull their sponsorship. They say your new image doesn't align with their brand values. Let them, Liam said calmly. We'll find partners who share our actual values. And what values are those exactly? His manager asked, clearly frustrated. Authenticity, inclusion, real health, not just aesthetics. Liam spoke with a conviction he'd never felt before. If they don't want to be part of that, it's their loss. Later that day, as Liam was drafting plans for his rebranded fitness program, his assistant Marcus came into his office looking worried. You need to see this, he said, handing Liam his tablet. On the screen was a gossip blog with the headline, Fitness Mogul's New Girlfriend, Genuine Love or Calculated Move. Below it was a photo of Liam and Nia at his birthday party, alongside pictures of his previous girlfriends, all thin, all blonde, all looking remarkably similar. The article suggested that Liam's relationship with Nia was nothing more than a publicity stunt to rebrand himself as inclusive after years of promoting unrealistic body standards. It quoted sources close to Calloway claiming the relationship was fake, orchestrated to boost his declining relevance. Trent, Liam said through gritted teeth, this has him written all over it. What do you want to do? Marcus asked. Liam thought for a moment. Nothing. Responding will only give it more attention. The truth will speak for itself. But when he went to Bloom's studio that afternoon, he found Nia sitting alone in the back room, her eyes red from crying. You saw the article, he said, sitting beside her. She nodded. It's not just that one. There are dozens now. They're calling me your charity case, saying you're just using me. None of that is true, Liam said firmly. You know that, right? I want to believe it, Nia said, her voice small. But this is exactly what I was afraid of. All these people judging us, making assumptions. And this is just the beginning, isn't it? Probably, Liam admitted. But we can get through it together. Unless, is this too much for you? Because I would understand if... No, Nia interrupted, her voice stronger now. I'm not letting them win. I'm not letting them make me feel small again. Liam felt a surge of pride. That's my girl. But, Nia continued, I think we need to be smart about this. If we just hide away, it looks like we're ashamed, or that they're right. We need to show them how real this is. What did you have in mind? Liam asked. The fitness industry gala next month. You mentioned you were being honored for your mental health initiative. Take me as your date, publicly. Let them all see us together. Liam smiled slowly. That's exactly what I was going to suggest. It's a big event. Lots of press. All the major players in the industry. Perfect, Nia said, her confidence returning. And until then, we live our lives. No hiding, no shame. Just us being us. And that's what they did. Over the next few weeks, Liam and Nia were photographed having dinner at popular restaurants, walking on the beach, shopping together. Liam posted pictures of them on his social media accounts, not posed, perfect shots, but real moments. Nia laughing as she tried to teach him how to arrange flowers, the two of them cooking in her tiny kitchen. Nia reading on his deck, the sunset behind her. With each post, the negative comments decreased. People began to see the genuine connection between them. Liam's followers changed too. He lost some of his fitness industry fans, but gained a new audience who appreciated his honesty and his evolving message about health and self-acceptance. Not everything was smooth. Hydrate 360 did pull their sponsorship, along with 2 other major brands. Liam's income took a significant hit, but new opportunities arose. A book deal about his journey from body shame to body acceptance. A documentary series about redefining fitness. Smaller, more progressive brands reached out, eager to partner with someone challenging industry norms. 3 weeks after the viral post, Liam invited Nia to his Malibu home for dinner. He'd been cooking all day, following recipes from her grandmother that she'd shared with him. "Something smells amazing," Nia said as she walked in, wearing a simple yellow dress that reminded him of the first day they'd met. "I made your grandmother's jambalaya," Liam said proudly, "or at least I tried to." The table on the deck was set with flowers from her shop, candles and a bottle of wine. The ocean stretched out before them, painted in golds and pinks by the setting sun. As they ate, Liam couldn't take his eyes off Nia. The way the breeze played with her curls, the way her eyes crinkled when she laughed, the way she savored each bite of food with genuine appreciation. "What?" she asked, catching him staring. "I'm just thinking about how lucky I am," Liam said honestly. "How close I came to losing you because I was too afraid to stand up for what matters." "Well, you found your courage," Nia said, reaching across the table to take his hand. "And I found mine too. It's not easy being in the spotlight like this, having strangers judge us. But it's worth it." After dinner, they walked along the beach, their feet in the cool water, hands intertwined. "I've been thinking," Liam said, as they watched the first stars appear, "about my house." "What about it?" Nia asked. "It never felt like a home before, just a place to show off, to impress people, but when you're here, it feels different. It feels right." Nia smiled up at him. "That's sweet. I was wondering," Liam continued, suddenly nervous, "if you might want to spend more time here, maybe all your time?" Nia stopped walking. "Are you asking me to move in with you?" "Yes," Liam said, turning to face her. "I love you, Nia. I want to build a life with you. A real one, not for show." Nia's eyes widened. "You love me?" "More than I've ever loved anyone," Liam said, the words flowing easily now. "You changed everything for me. You made me brave enough to be myself." Nia's smile was like sunshine. "I love you too, Liam." They kissed under the stars, the waves lapping at their feet, and Liam knew with absolute certainty that he'd made the right choice. "But," Nia said as they broke apart, "I'm not ready to move in yet. This has all happened so fast and the gala is coming up, and I just want to make sure we're solid before we take that step." "Of course," Liam said, understanding. "No rush. We have all the time in the world." The night of the gala arrived more quickly than either of them expected. Liam had hired a stylist for Nia, not to change her, but to help her find something that would make her feel confident and beautiful. They settled on a floor-length crimson gown that hugged her curves perfectly, with a neckline that showcased her collarbones and shoulders. When Liam picked her up at her apartment, he was speechless. Her dark curls cascaded down her back, her golden skin seemed to glow, and her eyes sparkled with excitement and a touch of nervousness. "You look," Liam struggled for words, "breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking." Nia smoothed her hands over the silk of her dress. "Are you sure? It's not too much." "It's perfect," Liam assured her. "You're perfect." In the limousine on the way to the event, Nia fidgeted with her clutch. "I'm nervous," she admitted. "All those people, all those cameras." Liam took her hand. "Just remember, you belong there as much as anyone, more even, and I'll be right beside you the whole time. What if they're cruel? What if they laugh or whisper? Then they're not worth our time," Liam said firmly. "The only people who matter are the ones who see how amazing you are, just as you are." When they arrived at the venue, a luxurious hotel in downtown Los Angeles, the red carpet was lined with photographers and reporters. Liam felt Nia tense beside him as they stepped out of the limo. "Ready?" he asked softly. She took a deep breath and nodded. "Ready." The moment they stepped onto the red carpet, flashes exploded around them. Reporters called Liam's name, asking who his date was, shouting questions about his recent rebranding. Liam kept his arm firmly around Nia's waist as they posed for photos. He could feel her trembling slightly, but was amazed by her composure. She stood tall, chin high, a small smile on her lips. "Liam, over here," called a reporter from Fitness Today, a major industry publication. "Is this your new girlfriend, the one from the viral post?" Liam guided Nia over to the reporter. "This is Nia Lawson. And yes, she's the amazing woman I wrote about. Nia, how does it feel to be dating one of the fitness industry's most eligible bachelors?" the reporter asked, his eyes taking in her curves with barely concealed surprise. Before Nia could answer, another reporter cut in. "Liam, your last girlfriend was a Victoria's Secret model. This is quite a change in direction for you." Liam felt anger flare in his chest, but Nia squeezed his hand in warning. She stepped forward slightly. "It's been interesting," she said in a clear, steady voice, "learning about Liam's world, showing him a bit of mine. But the most fascinating thing has been watching how uncomfortable some people get when they see a confident woman who doesn't fit into their narrow idea of beauty." The reporters fell silent. Then the first one smiled. "Well said, Miss Lawson, and may I say, you look stunning tonight." "Thank you," Nia replied with genuine warmth. "My grandmother always said the most beautiful thing a woman can wear is her confidence. I'm trying to live by that." As they continued down the red carpet, Liam leaned close to her ear. "That was incredible. You're incredible." "I was terrified," Nia confessed with a small laugh, "but it felt good to stand my ground." Inside the gala, heads turned as they entered. Liam recognized many familiar faces, competitors, colleagues, former friends. Some looked away awkwardly, others stared openly. A few smiled in greeting. To Liam's surprise, several people came over to introduce themselves to Nia, complimenting her dress, asking about her flower business. Not everyone was welcoming, of course. Liam noticed groups whispering, pointing discreetly. Amber was there with a new date, and while she gave Liam a small wave, she didn't approach them. "Liam Calloway," a voice came from behind them. Liam turned to see James Peterson, the CEO of Hydrate 360, the company that had pulled their sponsorship. "James," Liam greeted him coolly. "Nice to see you." "Is it?" James asked with a raised eyebrow. "Last I heard you weren't too pleased with our decision to part ways." "Business is business," Liam said with a shrug. "You have to do what's right for your brand." "As do I." James's eyes shifted to Nia. "And this must be the famous Nia." "Nice to meet you," Nia said, extending her hand. James shook it, studying her with undisguised curiosity. "You've certainly caused quite a stir in our little industry." "Not intentionally," Nia replied with a smile. "I'm just a florist who fell in love with a personal trainer." "Is that how you see Liam, just a personal trainer?" James asked, his tone slightly condescending. "No," Nia said, her voice firm but kind. "I see him as a man with the courage to challenge an industry that profits from making people feel inadequate. I see him as someone who's trying to make a real difference in how we think about health and bodies and worth." James looked taken aback. "Well," he said after a moment, "that's an interesting perspective." He turned to Liam. "Perhaps we were hasty in our decision. My office will call yours next week. We might be able to find some common ground after all." As he walked away, Liam looked at Nia in wonder. "Do you have any idea what you just did? Hydrate 360 is a multi-million-dollar company." "I just told the truth," Nia said simply, "about who you are, what you're trying to do." "You're amazing," Liam said, looking at her with so much love it almost hurt. "Absolutely amazing." The evening continued, a mixture of awkward moments and surprising connections. Liam was scheduled to give a speech about his mental health initiative, and as the time approached, he grew thoughtful. "What's on your mind?" Nia asked as they found their seats at the dinner. "My speech," Liam admitted. "I wrote it weeks ago, but it doesn't feel right anymore. It doesn't say what I really want to say." "So say what's in your heart," Nia suggested. "The best speeches come from truth." When Liam's name was called, he kissed Nia's cheek and made his way to the stage. Looking out at the sea of familiar faces, the fitness industry elite, the people he'd spent years trying to impress, he felt a strange calm. "Thank you for this honor," he began. "When I started Elite Body 5 years ago, I had a very clear vision of success. It looked like magazine covers and sponsorship deals and dating the right kind of women." There was a ripple of uncomfortable laughter. "It looked like proving to my father, to the world and to myself that I was worth something because I fit a certain mold." Liam paused, his eyes finding Nia in the crowd. She nodded encouragingly. "The mental health initiative we're celebrating tonight began because I started to see the damage that mindset was causing, not just to me, but to all the people who followed me, who believed that their worth was tied to how they looked. I'm proud of the work we've done, providing free therapy sessions to people struggling with body image issues, with eating disorders, with the crushing pressure to be perfect." He took a deep breath. "But I haven't been fully honest. Even as I was promoting mental health, I was still perpetuating the very standards that hurt so many people. I was still choosing partners based on how they would look on my arm, still posting carefully filtered photos, still selling an illusion." The room was completely silent now, every eye on him. "Then I met someone who changed everything," Liam continued, his voice growing stronger. "Someone who showed me that true beauty isn't about fitting a mold. It's about breaking it. It's about authenticity and kindness, and the courage to be exactly who you are in a world that's constantly telling you to be something else." His eyes locked with Nia's. "This woman right here is the most beautiful person I've ever known. I let other people's insecurities make me question what I already knew, that she is the standard, and I was lucky just to be loved by her." Tears glistened in Nia's eyes as he spoke the words directly to her. "I'm done hiding. I'm done promoting an idea of fitness and health that excludes so many people. From now on, Elite Body will be about strength, not just physical strength, but the strength to accept yourself, to love yourself, to stand up for what matters. Because that's what real fitness is about, being strong enough to live authentically, whatever that looks like for you." Liam stepped back from the microphone, expecting silence, perhaps a few scattered claps. Instead, the room erupted in applause. People rose to their feet, some wiping away tears, others nodding in fierce agreement. And in the center of it all was Nia, standing tall in her crimson dress, applauding with tears streaming down her face. When Liam made his way back to her, she threw her arms around him. "That was beautiful," she whispered in his ear. "I'm so proud of you." "I meant every word," Liam said, holding her close. As the applause continued around them, Liam knew that this moment, standing proudly with the woman he loved, speaking his truth, refusing to hide any longer, was worth more than all the sponsorship deals and magazine covers in the world. It was real, and after a lifetime of pretending, real was exactly what he needed. The morning after the gala, Liam woke up to find Nia standing on the deck of his Malibu home, wrapped in his robe, watching the sunrise over the ocean. He came up behind her and slipped his arms around her waist. "Good morning, beautiful," he murmured, kissing her shoulder. Nia leaned back against him with a contented sigh. "Good morning." "Any regrets about last night?" Liam asked. Nia turned in his arms to face him. "Not a single one." "You?" "Only that we didn't do it sooner," he said honestly. They had returned to his house after the gala, both emotionally drained but elated. For the first time, Nia had stayed the night, falling asleep in his arms as the sound of waves crashed outside the window. "I've been thinking," Nia said, her fingers playing with the collar of his t-shirt, "about your offer, about moving in." Liam's heart skipped. "And? I'm still not ready," she said, but quickly continued when she saw his face fall. "Not because I don't love you or want to be with you, but because I need to know that what we have is strong enough to stand on its own, not just a reaction to all this drama and publicity." "I understand," Liam said, and he did. Nia was thoughtful, deliberate. It was one of the things he loved about her. "We have time." "We do," she agreed, kissing him softly. "Now I should get going. I have a big wedding order to finish today." "Let me drive you," Liam offered. As they drove to Nia's apartment, Liam noticed how people on the street stared at his car, at them. After last night's gala, their pictures were probably all over social media. "So," he said as they stopped at a light, "are we official now? Instagram official, I mean." Nia laughed. "I think the whole world knows we're together after your speech last night." "True," Liam agreed with a smile, "but I'd still like to post something, if you're comfortable with it." "I am," Nia said. "Just nothing too cheesy, please." When Liam dropped her off, he took a quick photo of her walking into her building, the morning light catching her curls. Later, he posted it with the simple caption, "The most beautiful view in Los Angeles." She was blessed. The comments flooded in immediately. "You two are couple goals." "She is gorgeous." "Love what you said at the gala." "Respect." There were still some negative comments, but they were overwhelmed by the positive ones. Something had shifted. People were responding to the authenticity of their relationship, to the courage it took to challenge norms. Over the next month, Liam and Nia fell into a comfortable rhythm. They spent most nights together, either at his place or hers. Liam continued to rebuild his business, focusing on his mental health initiative and developing new fitness programs that emphasized strength and health over appearance. Nia's flower business was booming too. After being seen at the gala, she received calls from several high-profile clients wanting her unique arrangements for their events. She hired 2 assistants to help with the increased workload. One evening, as they were having dinner at a small restaurant in Venice Beach, Liam noticed Nia seemed distracted. "Everything okay?" he asked, reaching for her hand across the table. "Just tired," she said with a small smile. "The shop has been crazy busy lately." "That's good, right?" "It is," Nia agreed, "but sometimes I wonder if people are hiring me because of my work or because I'm dating Liam Calloway." "Does it matter?" Liam asked gently. "Your arrangements are amazing. Once they see your work, they'll keep coming back because of your talent, not because of me." Nia nodded, but she still seemed troubled. "It's just strange, being known for something other than my work. Having people recognize me on the street, seeing my picture in magazines next to articles about you." "Is it too much?" Liam asked, suddenly worried. "The attention, the publicity?" "No," Nia said quickly. "It's just different. I'm adjusting." But over the next few weeks, Liam noticed Nia withdrawing slightly. She worked later hours, sometimes cancelled their plans last minute. When they were together, she seemed distracted, checking her phone more often than usual. "Did I do something wrong?" Liam finally asked one night as they sat on his deck, the remains of dinner between them. Nia looked surprised. "No, of course not. Why would you think that?" "You've been distant lately," Liam said. "If something's bothering you, I want to know what it is so I can fix it." Nia was quiet for a moment, looking out at the ocean. "It's not something you can fix, Liam. It's just, life has changed so much since we met. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing myself in all of it, in being your girlfriend, in being this symbol of body positivity that people have turned me into." "I never meant for that to happen," Liam said, his heart sinking. "I just wanted to love you, to be with you." "I know," Nia said, taking his hand, "and I love you too, so much. But I need to figure out who I am in the middle of all this, what I want." "What are you saying?" Liam asked, fear creeping into his voice. "I'm saying I need some space," Nia said gently. "Not a breakup, just time to think, to find my balance again." Liam felt like he'd been punched in the stomach. "How much time?" "I don't know," Nia admitted. "A few weeks, maybe? I've been thinking about visiting my cousin in Oakland for a while, getting away from Los Angeles, from all the attention." "And from me," Liam said quietly. "Not from you," Nia insisted. "From the situation. I just need to clear my head, to remember who I was before all this." Liam wanted to argue, to convince her to stay, but he knew that would only push her further away. "If that's what you need, I understand." "Thank you," Nia said, relief evident in her voice. "I've already arranged for my assistants to handle the shop while I'm gone. I'm leaving the day after tomorrow." "So soon?" Liam couldn't hide his hurt. "I think it's best," Nia said. "A clean break for a little while." The next day, Liam helped Nia pack for her trip, each folded shirt and packed toiletry, feeling like another step away from him. They agreed not to call or text for the first week, to give her the space she needed. "I love you," Liam said as he dropped her at the airport. "Remember that, okay?" "I love you too," Nia said, kissing him goodbye. "This isn't the end, Liam. It's just a pause." But as he watched her walk through security, Liam couldn't shake the feeling that he was losing the best thing that had ever happened to him. The first week without Nia was torture. Liam threw himself into work, spending long hours at the gym, in meetings, developing new programs. He avoided social media, unable to bear the questions from followers wondering where Nia was. His friends tried to distract him. Even Amber invited him out for coffee, telling him that what he and Nia had was special, that they would work it out. But nothing helped the emptiness he felt. By the second week, Liam was going crazy with worry and loneliness. They had agreed he could call after 7 days, but when he did, their conversation was brief and awkward. Nia said she was enjoying her time with her cousin, reconnecting with her roots, thinking about the future. She didn't say when she was coming back. "I miss you," Liam said before hanging up. "I miss you too," Nia replied, but something in her voice made Liam's heart ache. On a particularly low night, Liam found himself driving to Bloom Studio. Nia's assistants had kept it running in her absence, but it wasn't the same without her. He stood outside, looking through the window at the colorful flowers, remembering the first time he'd seen her there. "She'll be back soon," a voice said behind him. He turned to see Sarah, Nia's main assistant, locking up for the night. "Did she tell you that?" Liam asked, hope rising. "Not exactly," Sarah admitted, "but she loves that shop, and she loves you. She just needed to remember who she was outside of all that." "I'm afraid I've lost her," Liam confessed. Sarah smiled sympathetically. "Give her time. Nia knows what she wants. She always has. The next day, Liam was at the gym when Marcus rushed in with excitement. "You need to see this," he said, handing Liam his tablet. On the screen was Nia's Instagram account. She had posted for the first time since leaving for Oakland. It was a photo of her as a little girl, sitting in her grandmother's garden, surrounded by flowers. The caption read, "My grandmother used to say that flowers bloom best when they're planted in the right soil, with the right amount of sun and water. People are the same way. We need the right environment to grow into who we're meant to be. Sometimes that means leaving what's familiar to discover what's possible. I've been doing a lot of thinking about roots and growth lately, about what makes me bloom. Finding my way." Liam read the post several times, trying to decipher what it meant for them. Was she saying she needed to leave Los Angeles, leave him to grow, or was she finding her way back? 3 days later, Liam was at home working on his laptop when his doorbell rang. He wasn't expecting anyone. When he opened the door, his heart stopped. Nia stood there looking more beautiful than ever. Her hair was different, cut shorter around her face in a style that emphasized her cheekbones. She wore a simple white dress and held a small suitcase. "Hi," she said with a shy smile. "Hi," Liam replied, afraid to hope. "You're back." "I'm back," Nia confirmed. "Can I come in?" Liam stepped aside, watching as she entered the house and set her suitcase down. She walked straight to the deck doors and looked out at the ocean. "I missed this view," she said softly. "I missed you," Liam replied, staying where he was, giving her space. "Every minute of every day." Nia turned to face him. "I missed you too, more than I expected to." "So what happens now?" Liam asked, his heart pounding. "That depends," Nia said, taking a step toward him. "I did a lot of thinking while I was away. About us, about what I want." "And what did you decide?" Liam held his breath. "I decided that I love you," Nia said simply, "and that loving you doesn't mean losing myself. It means finding a new version of myself, one that includes you but isn't defined by you." Liam felt hope rising in his chest. "What does that look like?" "It looks like me moving my business to a bigger space," Nia said. "Expanding, hiring more people, maybe starting a line of home decor. It looks like me using my platform to talk about things that matter to me. Body acceptance, yes, but also art, creativity, finding beauty in unexpected places." She took another step closer. "And it looks like me coming home to you at the end of each day, if that's still what you want." "It's all I want," Liam said, closing the distance between them and taking her in his arms. "You're all I want." Their kiss was like coming home after a long journey, familiar and new all at once. "So," Liam said when they finally broke apart, nodding toward her suitcase, "does this mean what I think it means?" Nia smiled. "It means I'm ready, if your offer to move in still stands." "It never stopped standing," Liam assured her. "This house has felt empty without you." That night, as they lay in bed together, Nia resting her head on Liam's chest, he asked the question that had been on his mind. "What made you decide to come back?" Nia was quiet for a moment. "I was walking in my grandmother's old neighborhood, and I saw this little girl. She was maybe 8 or 9, a bit chubby, and she was looking at a magazine with this skinny model on the cover. The look on her face, I knew that look. I'd felt that way too, like I'd never measure up." She raised herself up on one elbow to look at Liam, "And I realized that what we're doing, challenging those standards, showing that love and beauty come in all shapes and sizes, it matters. It matters to that little girl, and to all the women who felt invisible because they don't fit some narrow ideal." "It does matter," Liam agreed, "but that doesn't mean you have to carry that responsibility if it's too heavy." "It's not too heavy when we carry it together," Nia said. "That's what I figured out. I don't have to be a symbol or a statement. I just have to be me, loving you, living my life openly and honestly. The rest will follow." 6 months later, Liam stood at the back of a large hotel ballroom, watching as Nia led a workshop on floral design. Her business had expanded dramatically, with a line of vases and home decor that was selling in stores across the country. She'd also become an unexpected voice in the body positivity movement, speaking at events and sharing her story. Liam's business had evolved too. Elite Body was now focused on functional fitness and mental wellness, with programs designed for people of all sizes and abilities. He'd written a book about his journey from body shame to body acceptance that had become a bestseller. They'd faced their share of challenges. There were still cruel comments online, still people who didn't understand or accept their relationship, but they faced it all together, stronger for having weathered their earlier storms. As Nia finished her workshop to enthusiastic applause, she caught Liam's eye across the room and smiled. That radiant, genuine smile that had first captivated him. He smiled back, touching the sea glass bracelet he still wore every day. After the crowd dispersed, Nia made her way to him. "What did you think?" she asked, slipping her arm around his waist. "I think you're amazing," Liam said truthfully, "and I think I'm the luckiest man alive." "Flattery will get you everywhere," Nia teased, standing on tiptoe to kiss him. "That's what I'm counting on," Liam replied with a grin, "because I have something to ask you." "Oh?" Nia raised an eyebrow. "What's that?" Liam glanced around at the crowded room. "Not here. Tonight, at dinner." "Now you've got me curious," Nia said, her eyes sparkling. That evening, Liam took Nia to a small restaurant on the beach, the same one where they'd had their first official date after his birthday party. He'd arranged for a private table on the sand, lit by candles and surrounded by flowers from her shop. "This is beautiful," Nia said as they sat down. "What's the occasion?" "Do I need an occasion to spoil the woman I love?" Liam asked innocently. Nia gave him a knowing look. "You've been acting strange all day. What's going on?" Instead of answering, Liam reached into his pocket and pulled out a small box. Nia's eyes widened as he got down on one knee in the sand. "Nia Lawson," he began, his voice steady despite the pounding of his heart. "From the moment you walked into my gym with those flowers, you changed my life. You showed me what real beauty is, what real strength is. You made me brave enough to be myself, to stand up for what matters." He opened the box to reveal a ring. Not a traditional diamond, but a band of sea glass pieces in blues and greens, set in silver. "I love everything about you," Liam continued. "Your kindness, your courage, your talent, your laugh. I love the way you see the world, the way you make it more beautiful just by being in it. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, growing together, challenging each other, building something real." Tears glistened in Nia's eyes as he held out the ring. "Will you marry me?" "Yes," she said without hesitation, her voice full of emotion. "Yes, I will marry you." As Liam slipped the ring onto her finger, cheers erupted from nearby tables. He looked up to see that they had drawn an audience, other diners watching with smiles and teary eyes. "Sorry," he whispered to Nia. "I wanted it to be private." "It's perfect," she assured him, pulling him up for a kiss that tasted of salt and happiness. "Everything is perfect." Later that night, as they walked along the beach hand in hand, Nia looked up at the stars. "Did you ever imagine we'd end up here? That first day when I delivered flowers to the wrong address?" "Never," Liam admitted. "I had no idea my life was about to change forever." "Mine too," Nia said softly. "You know, my grandmother used to say that love doesn't ask us to be perfect, it just asks us to be brave." "Your grandmother was a wise woman," Liam said, squeezing her hand. "She would have liked you," Nia told him. "Once she got past all the muscles and the fancy car." Liam laughed. "I wish I could have met her." "Me too," Nia said, a touch of sadness in her voice. "But I think she somehow knew I'd find you. In her last letter to me, she wrote, 'Find someone who looks at you like you hang the moon and stars. Someone who loves you not despite your flaws, but because of the way you embrace them.' That's exactly how I love you," Liam said, stopping to face her. "Every part of you. And that's how I love you," Nia replied, reaching up to touch his face. "Every part of you." As they continued their walk, the moon casting a silver path across the water, Liam thought about the journey that had brought them here. From the shallow, image-obsessed man he'd been to the person he was now, someone who understood that true strength came from vulnerability, that true beauty came from authenticity. All it had taken was the courage to let go of what others thought, to stand up for what mattered, to love loudly and without apology. And of course it had taken Nia, walking into the wrong office on the right day, changing everything with her smile and her quiet confidence. 6 months later, Liam and Nia were married on the beach behind their Malibu home. It was a small ceremony, just close friends and family, with flowers from Bloom Studio decorating the simple arch where they exchanged vows. Nia wore a flowing dress that hugged her curves and moved with her like water. No veil, no train, just her natural beauty, enhanced by the joy that radiated from within. Liam couldn't take his eyes off her as she walked toward him on the sand, carrying a bouquet of the same blue and white flowers she'd arranged for his birthday party, where they'd first kissed. Their vows were simple, but heartfelt. Liam promised to love Nia exactly as she was, to support her dreams, to stand beside her through whatever life brought their way. Nia promised to love Liam with honesty and courage, to remind him of his worth when he forgot, to create beauty in their life together every day. As they exchanged rings, his a simple platinum band, hers a match to her sea glass engagement ring, the setting sun painted the sky in pinks and golds, as if nature itself was celebrating their union. At the reception, held on their deck overlooking the ocean, Liam clinked his glass for a toast. The small gathering fell silent, all eyes on the glowing couple. "A year ago," Liam began, "I was living what looked like the perfect life from the outside. I had success, fame, everything money could buy, but I was empty inside, still trying to prove my worth to a world that would never be satisfied." He looked at Nia, his eyes full of love. "Then this incredible woman delivered flowers to the wrong address, and my whole world changed. She saw through all the surface stuff to the person I really was, the person I wanted to be. She loved me enough to challenge me, to walk away when I wasn't brave enough to stand up for her, to come back when I finally found my courage." Liam raised his glass higher. "They say that when you find the right person, they don't just love you, they see you completely and love you anyway. Nia, you saw me at my worst and my best, and you loved me through it all. You taught me that real strength isn't about how you look or what you achieve. It's about having the courage to be authentic, to be vulnerable, to love without holding back." Tears glistened in Nia's eyes as Liam continued. "So here's to my beautiful wife, who changed not just my life, but the lives of so many others by simply being herself, unapologetically, and with her whole heart. And here's to love, real love, that doesn't ask us to be perfect, just brave enough to be exactly who we are." As glasses clinked and cheers went up, Nia leaned in to whisper in Liam's ear, "That was beautiful, but you forgot one thing." "What's that?" Liam asked. "You changed my life too," Nia said softly. "You made me brave enough to be seen, to step into the spotlight, to believe that I deserved a love story as big and beautiful as anyone else's." Later that night, as their guests danced under strings of lights on the deck, Liam and Nia slipped away to the beach. Barefoot in the sand, they swayed to the distant music, the waves providing a gentle rhythm. "Happy?" Liam asked, his arms wrapped around his wife's waist. "Completely," Nia assured him, her head resting against his chest. "You?" "More than I ever thought possible," Liam said truthfully. Above them, stars scattered across the night sky like diamonds. Below, the ocean stretched vast and mysterious, and between these two infinities they found their place, two people who had discovered that love, real love, was about seeing each other clearly and choosing each other anyway, every day. In the years that followed, their life together wasn't without challenges. They faced criticism and judgment, dealt with family issues, weathered business ups and downs. But through it all, they remained each other's strongest supporters, fiercest defenders, and truest friends. Liam's fitness empire evolved into a movement focused on health at every size, with studios across the country offering programs designed for all bodies. Nia's floral business expanded into a lifestyle brand, celebrating natural beauty in all its forms. Together, they created a foundation providing mental health services to young people struggling with body image issues. And when their daughter was born, a beautiful, perfect girl with her mother's eyes and her father's smile, they made her a promise that she would grow up knowing her worth came from within, that she was loved exactly as she was, that she never needed to change to be deserving of love. They named her Rose, after Nia's grandmother, and raised her in a home filled with flowers and laughter and the unshakable certainty that she was enough, just as she was. On their 5th anniversary, Liam surprised Nia by framing the very first bouquet she had delivered to his gym, the one that had started it all, preserved and mounted in a shadow box. Beneath it was a simple inscription: "To the woman who taught me what real beauty is, thank you for walking into the wrong office on the right day. All my love, always." And when Nia looked at it, tears in her eyes and a smile on her lips, Liam knew with absolute certainty that every step of their journey, every struggle, every moment of doubt, every act of courage, had led them exactly where they were meant to be, together, seen, loved,